Welcome to my talk at my gypsy camp. It's like I think it's in between 3:30 and 4. And well, first I have to get up and do Stella's routine. And then finally I get to sit down. And so I was looking at TikToks trying to finish this movie that I was watching, which I swear to God, I cannot believe the conspiracies that go on between people. That people just lie to each other. See, like it's a sad world, man. And so I did my messages on here on YouTube on here, and so then there was a couple things that I wanted to say. So then I went over to TikTok real quick and to see if there was any big news going on or something. And then I saw something else. So I was like, oh, I saw a few things. So there was a couple things. So we'll see. Oh my gosh, something's in my eye. We'll see where it takes us, because I don't know. I just have a couple things I was going to talk about. Oh my gosh, it feels like there's like sand or something in my eye. God, that feels weird. I don't even know what the hell. Guys, I put all my oil on and stuff. There shouldn't even be anything dry. Everything is like, I rub the castor oil all over my face when I get up. Well, not right when I get up. Stella's got my freaking routine. But, so they've already eaten and everything. And also this is, I think, day 4 of no puking for Max. But this morning, though, he didn't want to eat. But I was like, well, maybe he really doesn't like this because there's corn in it. And that is where I was like, well, maybe he's got a problem with corn. And that's where my mom was like, oh, yeah, they can have an allergy to corn for sure. She said I wouldn't give him any corn, and so I hadn't been doing that, but then there was some in this soup stuff. So, so anyways, we'll see where it goes. But my thing will be the allergies. If he pukes up the corn stuff, then I'll be like, okay, for sure, no corn for him. And then, but if he starts puking, also, I may just do, because you got to do it like every 10 days. Because the larvae hatches out. It just totally trips me out too how there's so many things. Okay, so yesterday I got a download because my mom had to go in and go shopping, and today it was going to snow more, and so it has snowed more. And so we just were, yesterday was so yucky out too, and I was like, well, it was just because it could be worse tomorrow, let's just go today. So I went today, I got all my download done. She was like so excited to be in shopping and stuff. And so she's just going around shopping and stuff. We were having a really good time. And then because I filled my water jugs, because finally the ThredUp thing finally handled itself. I could not believe the ordeal I went through on their customer service. I was ranting at some points. I was like, this is the craziest thing. Is there even a person? Like, are you real people? Like, this is insane. And so finally, after all this, because the order was, it was a couple days, it's so crazy, because it was a couple days. I remember, because it was right after Christmas, and I was going to be getting my check. I had gotten this order, and then it came, and the stuff didn't fit, so I returned it, and there you can return it without sending it back for, a few less bucks, and you get an in-store credit though. And so I had this in-store credit, and so it was like right after Christmas, and it was right before my getting paid, and I thought, well, I'll do it right before I get paid. And then I have the 10-day window that it's open, so when I get paid, there might be something that I want, and then I don't have to do shipping. I can just put it in there because the shipping's covered. So I had a whole little scheme going, right? And then, so I did my order, and it says 1/4 was when the order was made. So it must have been like 1/7 or something, 1/6, or maybe it was 1/5. I don't know. It was like right after, a couple days after that they served me. I was like, everything can turn on a dime. It just turns real quick. Everything just flips. So that was a flipping, but it was giving me a lot of flippings. That's why you got to just get with the somersault. You just got to go roll with the punches, just go with the wind. And so, so anyways, that one it turned into a fucking fuckery, man. I couldn't believe it. Because then I went in and changed the address. And then I was having this ordeal, too, where I was coming here, and then I wasn't coming here, and then I was back to coming here. And so I had that package coming, and I think Chewy. So I had these 2 packages coming. And so I changed the address, and then I saw on the Chewy one, it didn't change it. It still sent it to the other one, even when I changed the address. I was like, what in the holy hell? And, but luckily I got that one on my way out. But this other one, it just, they said they were sending it, and then they sent it to the wrong address. So I and I had already tried changing it with them and everything. So I'm trying to get a hold of customer service, UPS. I'm changing my thing at USPS and all that stuff, which they're still harassing me about finishing my VOTE registration. It's like, oh my God, see the fucking fuckery in this fucking, it's a bullshit. Like, everything in this system is so, it's like they just suck you in, man. It's like, fuck off. I just want to take my fuck off finger and machine gun them all. God damn it. Like, fuck off. That's the last fuck off. I want to fucking fuck off. It's like, I'm sick of this shit, man. Sick of the fucking, it's like a web, man. It's like the spiders in the web, and they just fucking get you all around, suck you in, and you're trapped in their fucking weaved, hellacious fucking reality of fucking bullshit, man. So weird how there's so micro macro on some of this stuff. So anyways, I gotta get back to where I was. So went shopping, and okay. So the ThredUp thing, and so it's been an ordeal. Keep trying to change the stuff, and then it was like at the last moment, UPS finally called me. 2 UPSs called me and said, oh, they've got my package out for delivery, but they're stopping it and they're sending it to me. And so, I called the next day to confirm the address, and then they say, oh no, it's already returned to the place. You can't get it to you. I'm like, what the fuck? So they returned it back to the place, and it's been sitting at that place. Then they send me an urgent email. Oh, it's an emergency. Hurry, tell us if you want this or you want it returned. Message them like 5 times. And no, not answering back, not answering back. And this was over days. Every day, I'd be like, is anybody going to answer? Are you sending the packet? What's going on? And then I would even go on their other customer services, a chat, and I would just ask for a human, and I'd wait and get one supposedly, and it would just be this, like, it was weird as shit. Okay, well, it's coming, it's going to be sent tomorrow, and then it wouldn't be sent. I would be like, what is going on? And so anyways, that just went, and it was really aggravating. So finally yesterday, let's see, I think it was in the morning, I asked the chat girl, what is up, like, with this package? And so she said she was going to check and that she would let me know within 48 hours. And so I'm waiting. And then, I don't know, 36 hours or something. Then I get a message that she sent it, and it's on its way. They sent me the tracking number, which I was expecting, for like a week and a half. And then that she repacked my order, which I don't know. Like, I was thinking maybe she just said this, because she said she repacked it. She saw a stain on her dress, so she gave me a refund of a couple dollars. And I went back to look at the description of the dress, and it's like, it says excellent. Like, there's nothing. And so then I was like, I'm looking all over on the picture trying to find a stain, so I don't know when it gets here. But, after all this waiting, I'll still turn around and return it if it's not, it's like, it's such an ordeal to finally get it here. It's like, oh my God. It's been an ordeal to finally get it here, and then it finally gets here, and then nothing fits. You just never know. But anyways, so that gave me a couple bucks. And so I used it and went and filled my waters, even though this is just such bullshit, man. And I still don't know even if the water I was getting over there wasn't bullshit. Because there was that one time when we pulled up, And there was all these worker guys out there. And I said, are you guys messing with the water? And they're like, no. But I don't know. I don't know. Some people, they go out and do stuff and they don't even know what they're doing. They're just following orders. They're just doing what they're told. And certainly they wouldn't tell us to pour something here and drill down here and do this if they knew it was going to affect this. And I was like, they definitely would. They definitely would. God, wake up, please. Everybody wake up and they'll stop following orders. You start questioning your orders like, wonder what's going on here. So anyways, so they gave me a couple bucks. So I was, this is a long story to get to this one little tiny thing. And because it was, just all stemmed from this parasite thing. So I went to, and when we went to go shopping and stuff, I went into Safeway and they've got these filler things. And I think they're at most of the grocery stores. You can take in your big jug and you can fill it. It's probably just coming out of the fucking toilet, just straight out of the fucking hose or some bullshit, who knows. You're going in paying 50 cents a gallon for it and hoping that it's not as decrepit as the water coming out of the faucet. And so so I'm standing there filling my jugs. My mom was going and looking for food to eat and stuff like, to make for dinner. And, she brings over this piece of salmon and she goes, you think this piece is big enough for us? And she was asking the price because she can't see because she's blind. And it just bothers me is I told her not to do those in their eyeballs for these certain diagnoses. And they did that. And I kept saying, don't do it, don't do it. There's not, she kept believing the doctors. But anyways, she brought over that piece of fish and I just can't quit thinking about all the pictures. I told her, oh no, I'm not eating any fish. No, you go ahead. You can have the whole thing. And she's like, oh, okay, then there's plenty. I forgot because I haven't been eating any. Well, I had that piece of fish and chips on the way here. And it was yuck. So, but yeah, I have a weakness for fish and chips for sure, but the salmon, I've just seen too many. Because I'm sitting there thinking, oh man, some taco. Like I'm thinking, I would be good, but I can't get the images of all the pictures of all the people with all the worms. I was just like, oh my God, that's so blood. It's probably got so many parasites in it. It's probably got so much larvae in it and stuff. And that's the thing is like so many people are eating all this larvae and stuff and they don't realize. And it's just like, oh. Once you see it, but I can't sit there and, well, you shouldn't do that because I've seen this and I've seen that. It's like, well, when they see it, that's when they'll see it. And it will come to them just like it came to me. It's not my duty to make sure everybody, I gotta run around. Hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? That's what this is such an outlet for me. Like I can just come in and tell you guys and whoever wants to listen, listens. And I get to express myself because yeah, my physical reality there is, and yeah, Crystal, just exactly. I know there's tons of us that have been like this odd man out, the black sheep, but it does, I think, create a lone wolf kind of thing, where you have to become strong in yourself, strong in your roots, strong in what you're believing and stuff, strong in how you become more stronger in yourself. Especially like when the people who are closest to you reject you for who you are because you're not the same as everybody else, then it really toughens you up. It can either destroy you or make you stronger, like everything can. It's two paths. You have the path of destruction and you have the path of resilience. In the path of destruction, you can get stuck in a pity party. You can get stuck in shame and guilt and pain and suffering. And you have to, recognize that and pull yourself free from it. You have to pull yourself out of it. You can't just expect, you got to participate in yourself. You have to participate in your healing and your learning and your growing and stuff. And so it's like you're going through it and you're on the wrong path. You're on the path of destruction and the vibration is low. The people you encounter are to help push you in a different direction, to give you the motivation, the nudges and stuff. And a lot of times you don't recognize that when you're being pushed. You just feel like, you're just being pushed around. And it takes time to start seeing. And to me, for me, because I spent a lot of decades like that, for me, it was the recognition of me, my involvement in my patterns. For me to recognize like my own self-destructive behavior, my own toxic behavior, which is really cool too when somebody does something and you get to see like, oh my gosh, I've grown so much. Like something that used to trigger me or would send me over the edge or whatever, you know, send me into a crisis, it doesn't have an effect on me anymore. I've moved past that. It's like, oh, okay, you don't like me. Okay, that's cool. I was like, it's cool. It's like, whatever. One thing though, when, you know, you can recognize that too, it's like, well, I kind of choose to be around people who do like me, just to let you know. But anyways, it's really cool though, when you get at recognizing yourself, like the things that no longer trigger you, and then you can replay, like me, the old you, and it's like, oh, good. Oh, really? Oh, really? Did you do? Oh, come on, Dilly. It's like, that's rough, man. Rough. But, you know, it's reflective and it helps you. It helps you to grow and it helps you to see how far you've come. Like, damn, man. I used to be so toxic and dysfunctional, such a little whiny ass. So, you know, you can get off that chain. you can jump that train and you can get on the positive one, and you can get on the one where you're going towards yourself and you're going towards your healing and stuff. But there's all that you got to let go of. And to me, it all goes together. My journey has been long. It's been long, lots and lots of years, and it's really driven it home, going back into this kind of thing of, you know, living in your mom's house again. And then just some of the conversations and stuff we've had, it just, you know, gives you that flashback of you being a kid. And then just feeling that, oh yeah, I used to say this and I would get rejected. Oh my gosh, yeah, I used to try and say this. And it was always like, you know, don't you listen to those devils trying to talk to you. I don't know if that was actually ever said, but it was like, that was the kind of thing. Like, and what's crazy too, in the case of my mom, is she's super psychic and stuff. But that is like the thing that they do. Like, people have all these gifts and stuff, but they want to control and contain them. And so then they give it a narrative and they give it a storyline, and they attach fear and attach ego and stuff to the storyline. And so people become very linked in. It's like parasitic to a storyline or something. Like they feed off of it. And so, you know, that's where they develop religion and stuff, and they get all these people trapped because they know that this is real. Like, you know, they know that there's something out there and they're connected to it. But then they force a narrative over what you're allowed to think about it. And when you're somebody who comes in and you're all over the place and you're thinking that and this and that, and it's like, no, stop. And then it pushes other people to kind of, I don't know, it's like they have to reject you for their own sanity. Otherwise, you know, that makes them question everything and everything falls apart. And so, you know, when you're somebody who goes around questioning everything, looking at the holes, trying to figure it out and stuff like that, you can be rejected by all the people who are trying to just contain and maintain their own sanity in this weird world. And so those of us who were able to just bounce around and all of that, we can make people uncomfortable. And so that is the whole thing about being able to become strong in yourself in this lone wolf kind of thing. Like, you can make it on your own. You can, you know, believe in yourself, think for yourself and stuff. And that to me has been a big part of the journey, because I haven't had any support or anything like for like doing this or anything like that. Like, I know they all think that I'm kind of strange, and they probably think I'm just on here just talking bad about everybody because I got nothing to talk about. And it's like, that's not what I'm doing here. and they don't see me for who I am and stuff, which that has been a hard kind of weird thing. But then I know when the lights come on that it is, you know, people are going to see what they did not see before. And when you're undervalued, you know, it's going to, we'll see how it plays out. But one of the things though is, so on the news media thing, Crystal had said something in the comments, and it just clicked into my head, and I was like, oh, that's the problem. That's the motherfucking problem. So, and keep in mind, like, she used to be Fox News when it was, what's his name? Tyler, the guy everybody likes, who I think is also a part of this whole disclosure thing. I can't think of his name. The guy who used to be on Fox, and he's real famous. He's got his fucking thing on X, his own channel or something. So, I just know his name starts with a T, and he's got black shaggy hair. And so she used to watch him, and there was, I think she liked Sean Harris. There was some people on there that she liked, but that is what she used to have on all the time. And then once the shit went down, which I don't know because I never watched that in any of that. Seeing it, like, I'd be around people who had that on all the time. I'd be like, this is some bullshit. I'd be around people who had that on all the time. I'd be like, this is some bullshit. Like, what the fuck? So both of them, when I would be in someone's house and hear them, I would be like, what the hell? I didn't know how manipulative it was. I didn't know how intentional the manipulation was at the time. I just knew it was misleading, and it was very driven by one. It wasn't trying to be open, like to give you all the information so you would think for yourself. It was very driven into telling you how to think about something, and you just could recognize it. And so I was turned off by both of those. And my one daughter was watching the C one when all the stuff went down. The younger one, when all the stuff went down, we were still speaking. And I was going over to her house, and she's watching all this, like, that channel was live, like, going, and, you know, and all that stuff. And some of the stuff I was like, that's some bullshit. I stood up about what I saw. And then I also said about the SOROS. So I already knew something about him way back then, because I was like, that guy is paying all them or something. I don't remember. It must have been during the riots or something. And she thought I was so crazy. She's like, you believe this nonsense? The right-sided media tries to say he's the bad guy and he's the nicest guy and survived the Holocaust and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, man, they are just tricking people, man. But those people think that we're being tricked, and it's weird because it's like one side can see the trickery, but the one side can't. And so it's weird. But the other side has got stuff to work on too. Like I've said, they've got a lot of stuff to work on themselves. So this light's coming on is going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant. So, anyways, but when whatever went down with Fox, I don't remember. And all of a sudden, everybody saw, like, there's some bullshit, and they're lying, and whatever it was, and everybody, all the right turned against it, even though it has some people who watch it. A lot of people turned against it, and then it was shown who owned it, and he is left-leaning, and so anyways, everybody felt manipulated. So these other newses popped up, right-sided news, and I keep trying to think, what is the other one called? Like, because there was two that popped up, and she started watching the one of them, not the right side news, this other one that's on all the time, just like all the other news is. And so she watches, that's what's on all the time. So, and they market themselves as being super, you know, they're telling the truth. They are out there, like, they're not like the other media. They're telling the truth about everything. And I don't know if that's a dog snoring or if it's my breathing. I think it's a dog snoring. Every time I take a breath, it's like, is that me? So the, what was I going to say? Okay, so that media is marketing itself as being the truth, and that's the problem. I was like, oh my God, it's manipulating. So it's saying that the social media is lying. It's saying that all of the people are being fooled on their phones, that we're being tricked by misinformation and stuff. That's how they're doing it. That's how they're motherfucking doing it. The news is telling them, and so then the people are believing it. So everything I show that's on the thing, she's like, that's not real. It's not, it's not on there, because they're telling them that. This misinformation and stuff. I was like, oh, that is why. It's the same manipulation. It won't surprise me if it comes out it's owned by the same motherfuckers that own CNN or whatever. They're manipulating people's minds. They're telling them how to think. They're telling them what's right and what's wrong and what's real and what's not real. And so that's all going to fall apart. Which, another thing, and this was something I had said, I've been saying it to people, but so I'm sure I've said it to you guys too, is that this whole thing, like I knew this immigration thing was going to get crazy and go wild, which is so bizarre too. It's like all these people who are out there marching and protesting, they're all waving Mexican flags or South America. I don't know. It's not our flag. I think it's Mexico, but I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But why would you be in a country that you want to be the citizen of this country, but you're waving the citizenship of another country? Like, that is just so weird. It's like, what in the world? Like, if you wanted to be an American citizen, why wouldn't you be out there like, hell yeah, America's so great? Like, why would it, like, what the fuck? Oh my God, I don't know. People's perspectives of flags and alliance and loyalty and this world is just, it's like, people need to start thinking. Like, you guys start thinking about, what am I doing here? What am I doing? What am I doing here? What am I doing here right now? Like, think beyond just following. Like, so anyways, I knew it was going to get big, though, with whatever was going to go down, because this is going to be huge. This is like the freedom of all people. Like, this is us coming into the realization that we are free-range beings, that nobody should be able to tell us where to go and when to go and everything. So all the things happening are to bring up these feelings in us, these thoughts and stuff. So I knew it was going to be big like this. And so I had said, about the arresting the criminals and stuff, not just going and arresting all these people, even though there's all these people saying all these stories, crying and stuff. Well, I don't know. We've seen this kind of bullshit on the news, and it's all been a show. So that is the part where it's like, I don't know. I mean, they could be going, but it's that person's storyline. I know that's not the thing, is to just run around and just arrest all the people that are here illegal. That would be, Jesus Christ, that'd be a lot of people. Like, that's not what they're doing. They're getting the people who have been committing crimes and being allowed by our protect and serve people, are allowing these certain things. And that's what's going to be exposed, is a lot of criminal intent, a lot of shady shit going on. And so that's who they're going and picking up and taking and stuff. And so I had said that they're going to be arresting all of these ones, but I said it's going to all of a sudden, they're going to be arresting a lot of America or citizens too. Like, people, like, you can't commit crimes. It doesn't matter if you're legal or illegal. Like, that's going to all go together. And he says they're going to start arresting citizens too for crimes. Watch and see. And so that's what I just saw this morning. Donald said, but we're gonna, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not, and you're committing crimes, we're going after you. You're going to the git. So, I don't know if he said you're going to the git, but he said something about that there were going to be arrests made of citizens as well. And so I knew all this stuff is gonna, it's like just watching the dominoes fall, but it's like there's so many people watching them fall, but it's like their perspective, they're not seeing what's going on. So it's like overwhelming or something. And I don't know where you need to stand back or look at or whatever. It's just like zoom in or zoom out to gain perspective, because it depends on where it is you're looking and what it is you're looking at. And so many people are so caught up in the drama. Like, my mom had a conversation with somebody who was freaking the fuck out. They think that there's a huge amount of people who think Donald is creating the holla. The holla, the cost of a holla. So he's creating that. It's like, oh my God, people have got the most warped concepts, and like, how is this distortion created? It's so crazy. And it's so crazy how he's in here doing so much stuff so fast, and they're all so resistant. It's like, so you were digging that other guy? Like let's get some perspective here. Like, you were okay with the other guy? Like, you don't like this guy doing good stuff? You liked it better when the other guy just sat around and sent money out all fucking time? Like, what in the hell? Like, this is so weird how these people, the things that they do and say and stuff, how they freak out. And so anyways, they're certain that he is, this is creating this horrible thing that he's doing. And it's like, he's actually coming in and trying to protect us for the first time in a long time, that somebody has been trying to protect us from the inside. And you guys can't recognize that. You're being misled. And you guys think that this guy is the problem. And that's what they're trying to tell you. So you would go against him. And he's not the problem. And these other people who are trying to get you to go against him are the problem. But you're over here cheering them on, You're supporting them. And then the guy they're telling you to hate, that is bully mentality. Is so fucking basic. Like, what, like... What the cool kid in class told you that guy's a real loser, let's go pick on him together, and you jump up and go. Like, these are parts of yourself that you got to start recognizing, because there's a lot of people out there who think, oh, I'd never bully anybody, I would always have compassion, I would really care. It's like, well, you can think that, but what are your actions showing? This is what this time of reflection's all about. So you get to see, what are your actions showing? Who are you really? You convince yourself that you're not a bully. You convince yourself that you're open-minded. You convince yourself that you're caring and loving. But are you? Really? So that's this part when the lights come on, because people are convinced that there are all these things that, you got a lot of darkness. You just don't see it. But those of us around you can see it. And that's what's also so crazy, is that you can see right through other people's dysfunction, other people's pain and suffering, other people's toxic characteristics and stuff. You can see them so clearly. Once you can see yours, and once you can realize yours and stuff, you just start seeing everybody's. And you start being like, fuck, everybody's a fucking mess, man. We're a fucking mess out there. We gotta get our shit together. And we gotta come together, man. We gotta get ourselves together. And you start being able to see, like, what the problem is. So it was so crystal clear to me. It's like, oh my God, these people, they're biased. They're all ego-driven, fear-based. You can just see so easy. And they all fall into these certain patterns and stuff. And so that is... that is what the awakening is about. That's what all of this stuff that is going on in our life is all about for our souls. Like, you can look at it in a lot of different, the micro, macro. You can range in on whatever you want to focus on in this reality, and that becomes your reality. And so, to me, I focus on, like, to me, okay, it's kind of like, so this visual is, man, some of this stuff. Okay, so this visual is like you are birthed in naked, And then you begin to cloak yourself with an armor of protection. And so you begin to cloak yourself with all of this. It's like a knight putting on all this armor. And so you cloak yourself and put this armor on, but really it becomes a prison. And so then the visual was as this is occurring to me, what I see in my own self is I'm walking, my little avatar character is walking, and her armor's falling off. But it's not coming off just accidentally, it's coming off intentionally, because I'm no longer need it. So I'm healing the things that I used it to protect myself. I'm healing those, so it's falling off of me. And so I'm walking as my armor's falling off, but the world around me, everything is falling apart. It's all falling apart. But I'm focused on my direction. And I just keep walking in my direction as everything falls apart. Because in my soul and stuff, I know what I'm here to do. I'm here for that part. Yeah, that is like the ascension. That is you coming out of the dust of everything happening, because then it's all, because people can focus on all the different things, and it's not like shame on you shouldn't focus on that. It's like you focus on what you are meant to focus on is what you'll see. And so and some people are supposed to be focused on what's going on right down the street, or what's in the air. How many motherfucking years have I been saying, like, what's crazy, like I had said, I haven't had any support or anything in doing this. This is my 5th year. It's so crazy, because I know time isn't really relevant or anything, but it's just trippy when it starts being like, oh my God, I've been doing this for 5 years, man. And so, which the other day, now I've gone way past their thing of, where you get monetized or whatever. I went way past that a long time ago. And then, so they dropped it down on my views, because then they said, well, you have to have so many views. And so they restrict my views, so I can't, so it doesn't get monetized. So they just keep it back. But I'm over 300,000 views, where you're supposed to be like at 125,000 or something. And, but I just got notified, and I had seen, because I hadn't looked in a while, and so I went to look to see what they were doing with my following, and it had gone up some, but then of course it dropped back down, because they always take them away. If somebody joins on, they always take away a bunch, and so then it has to go back up, and then they just shuffle it. It's just a game that they do. And so I was at 1999 for a couple days, then it dropped down to 1997, then it goes to 1996, and so then it just keeps going down. But then it got up and it went over 2,000, and so then they notified me, you have 2,000 followers now. It's like I don't know, it's the whole thing with the restriction and stuff like that, and the years, and I don't know, just but there was something else I was going to say about that. What was it? It was something else. That was like, I don't know. It was long, drug out stories. Okay, so let me think what it was I was about to say, because there was something else. It wasn't about that. Keep going blank. Where am I at? 39. Okay. Man. Okay, that's so weird. Okay, let me see what's popping into my head. I'm trying to not see. I'm trying to see this other. I feel like I have to be quiet for a minute to try and catch back on. So hold on a second. like too far back. Okay, so, okay, this is just annoying. It's annoying me. So, anyways, let's just go somewhere else. I'm just gonna jump in somewhere else and see where it takes me. Is on the criminals and the immigration stuff, because the criminal thing is gonna start going crazy. That, man, and I am just kind of curious over this whole thing with the trees and all these other flags and shit like that. Is I don't know. There's certain things there's restrictions about that in citizenship or whatever. Even though there's so much of that changing. Which yesterday, when we were out shopping and stuff, I said something about, yeah, so now Greenland wants to change. They want to get away from the crown over there, the Denmark, and she's like, yeah, I know, like, and Canada wants to become the 51st state or something, which is so funny because the 51st state was supposedly Hawaii, and now, you know, that's all come out that it's occupied territory. But it's funny because it's like people saying the 51st state. It's like, we already had a 51st state. That's what Canada would be, the 52nd state. That's what I was taught in school. And but Alaska was right before them, and that's all occupied territory too. That is there's people who it's like they had to sign like these contracts or treaties with these tribes and stuff. And there's been nothing but shenanigans. Like if you go and listen to the elders or whatever in the fights, like they've been fighting like City Hall, and the government's still there. And their fight is like not that long ago of their history of those shenanigans and stuff. So anyways, but the ones that are wanting to join, you know, we're not over there forcing anybody now. And so she said, yeah, they want to become the 51st state. I said, I told you that everything is going to go. It's going to become like under one flag, and it's a different flag. And right now, if you go on to anything federal or whatever, apparently, like I haven't done it, but they are showing a different flag now. It's got 9 stars, which I would think would represent like 9 continents or something of all the global world of us all being one in unity, not being under a globalist regime, but being free and being open, because this is moving people out from under the crown and stuff. And so that, but that's where they're all going to come together. And that's why I said he's going to be like the leader that they all want to go under or something. But there would be some other leaders, you know, people will start seeing Vladimir as being a good guy. And who knows if he's even the original one. Like, that's also speculation on that. And then I think the African president, I think that Kim Jong, whatever that guy's name is, North Korea guy. All these different people. I think that it's all, that they're going to all start coming together. And the way I see it is all these leaders standing like in unity or something, kind of like what, like, think Davos or something, like where they would get all those guys out there taking a picture all together, you know, these billionaires that are trying to run us through their fucking nonsense. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, what I've been saying for fucking years, because I've been doing this for fucking years, but I have been saying it for motherfucking years before there was any kind of evidence. I kept saying there's something going on with the fog. They keep bringing in this fog and it's making us sick. And I said they find places of isolation and they test on us. And I said I think that they are doing some beta testing on us with this fucking fog, man. And I said you get sick all the time with it. And then it got worse and worse. Like towards the end, I was getting the stomach flu like every couple days. It was insane. I was going to the bathroom, water. And it was like, and your stomach would just be cramping. And it was like, this is so crazy. It's like I've consumed a lot of poison and my body's rejecting it. So weird. And so I kept saying, and I kept talking about the fog as a density. It's a carrier agent. It can carry certain things that are lighter aerosols that need something more dense to carry it. And I think that that's what's in the fog. I think the fog is actually this. And fuck? And I was saying that for so long. Then everybody started all of a sudden the fog now is gone global. The fog is everywhere. Oh yeah, okay, the picture too. Okay, so the fog's everywhere, and and people are having it tested, so it's coming back with horrible toxic chemicals and stuff. Like, what have I been motherfucking saying? And I even saw a video where a girl was talking about there's patents. Like, this is how retarded this fucking bullshit is. They go and do patents on the goddamn shit that they're doing to us. This is like right out there. Like, they get patent, like, I don't know, Dr. Evil, I couldn't get a license for that. Like, it's just weird. This world is so fucking weird. But I guess that's like the karmic thing. They have to tell us. And so the information's out there. And then they give us news flashes on the screen. You know, just like I'm watching this most random crime show, and all of a sudden they just pan over to this poster. Fog kills. I was like, interesting. Very interesting. And but stupid. And so that is, so they got the info out there for us, but so on this one patent thing, so they had decided that they wanted to test some of these certain chemicals of how they moved in the fog, and they needed to see, like, well, let's just shoot them over here at these people, and let's see how many people get sick. So they decided San Francisco is the place of choice. So all these army people, Navy, military people, go off on their ships and start shooting this fog out to go to the masses and make them sick. Not telling the people. Like, they're not going to tell them. Like, why should we scare them? We don't know what's going to happen. And so what they found is it spread way further than they thought. But this is the part where our government, when they get caught, well, we're just trying to do what's right. You know, we got to be prepared for anything. We got to know what we need to watch out for. But I told you, there's beta testing all the time in isolated areas. Like, there's tons of places that are being tested on, and that was not a big stretch. I got that off watching fucking, what's her, Erin Brockovich. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh. And then here comes Flint, and here comes, like, you just start seeing it. It's like, oh, pop up, pop up, pop up. Yeah, that's what they're doing, all right. So yeah, that was beta testing and finding isolated places that they can just test on the people. And then we got places where people have just all disappeared too. Like, do they just go in, wipe them all out, they come in, clean up the mess, leave everything there, and then we go around like, what happened? It's like these motherfucking beta testers. And then they're so schemy, you know, they release to people's families and stuff that are looking for them. Oh, this happened or that happened. It's all fucking scheme. It's fucking scheming motherfucking shit all the time. But the picture that I was seeing was like all these leaders lined up, coming together in unity. And he's like, I don't know, in the picture, he's like standing out a little. Like, he's not standing, like, they're standing kind of like not like he's the leader. Because, you know, but it's like, but he's like the leader. It's like he's the team leader and this is his team, kind of. You know, he's the one who's like, okay, you over there, yeah, the tall guy, yeah, you're on my team. Yeah, it's like he's that guy. And then his team back here. And so it's all these other leaders. And so it all comes together and creates this global university or something, where we're all on the same team. We're all on the team of human being or something. And so not what they were trying to do. It's not the same thing. It's like two paths. And we're like, some people are on the negative path. A lot of people are on the negative path, and they don't realize it. But when you're on the positive path, then it's going in this direction, where we're going into this. Some people are living in hell right now. Like, they're in their own hell, their own created hell. But it's just trippy too, because it's like manipulated too. Like, it's not just created in their own minds. Which, one thing I want to say, because it drives me crazy, is these tarot readers, and then pop up, and then they'll be like, oh, things are about to get good, way better than what anything you could imagine. It's like, bitch, I got quite the imagination. Don't fuck with me. Like, I can imagine pretty crazy shit. So, yeah, I don't know. That's very restrictive. If you don't know me, don't fucking think you do. Oh, yeah. This one, yesterday I got this comment on TikTok. I don't even know what the fuck. Sometimes the people say stuff and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And this person came in and said, they called me Sarah for one thing. And then they said, it's really sad to see that you don't have Christ in your life, Sarah, or something like that. I was like, for one thing, my name's not Sarah, and for another thing, that's awfully presumptuous of you to think I don't have Christ in my own fucking heart. Like, that's the thing, is these people, like, if you don't claim Jesus, if you don't claim the Bible, then you don't know Christ, you don't know God, you don't, you're a heathen. It's like, that's awfully presumptuous of you. Like, that's some fucking nonsense. So, these people with their fucking ego-driven fucking influence over Team Jesus or whatever, it's like, there's, I don't know, that just drives me crazy. So, and I get it all the time, these people, like, you don't love God, you don't know God and stuff like that. It's like, I probably know him better than you. I probably spend a lot more time talking to him than you. And, but whatever. It's like, think what you want to think. It's where you got to let go of so many of these people's perceptions and stuff. It's like, I don't know how you're perceiving. I don't know what, I mean, you can't even keep his name straight. Like, whatever. So anyways, you can't get caught up in how other people perceive you is one thing I have definitely learned. It's like their perceptions come from their own influence, from their own lens, from their own pain and suffering, from their own accumulation of responses in their own lives that they've lived. And so to get caught up in someone else's perception of you is, it's like quicksand. It's like you bury yourself. And so anyways, but we're going towards, in this more positive sense, is the freedom of us. And you can get it down on all the little things, because there's all these people, well, you gotta have this law, you gotta have these things, you gotta have this in place, why? Think about it. Like, this world was going on a long time before all this bullshit, and it was going fine. There's always the problems. They're the ones that try and take over. That's why we're going into this huge peace treaty thing. There's these ones that want to take over, and it's been going for a long time, and it all goes back to these fucking crowns, and the crowns are all fucking related. And so they've been taking us over for a long fucking time. And they use the church as an influence because they have to ride us on our fucking fear and our alliance. And so many people, given the opportunity, I think, as beings, that they connect with something bigger, like tribes were spiritual. I think people, like, I see people out, what would you call that? The people who, settlers, like, who went out on their own. Like, one thing my mom said, we were driving back, and there's a lot of cool houses out here, and there's this one, and I was like, man, that house is cool. And she was like, oh, what's so weird is that when she moved in, that was a 150-year-old farmhouse right on the fucking lake. 150 years ago, this would have been so desolate, right down on the river like that. So people who lived way out in the middle of nowhere and down fucking, like, there was no, even when she moved out here, it was dirt roads. And so those people were out here, like, fucking riding their horses and shit. And so anyways, people who were back there like that, left on their own, they became more spiritual. They prayed. They, looked at nature. Are you going to feed us this year and stuff? There was more of a connection to something bigger than them. And so where they've tamed that or controlled it is their influence in trying to get people to chase their dreams in the city lights and pulling people in like a fucking vacuum and getting people distorted off of reality and what you're doing here and why you're here and what you're connected to. So they create the influence, this 3D influence over chasing your tail or something. So anyways, that is a part of the breaking free, a part of the realization of waking up. And you've got to release yourself. It's like the prison you built around you is you've got to be now the one taking it down. And you got to see why you built it around you. Like there was a reason. It wasn't because you're a psycho. It was because you were hurt. Things hurt you, and you had to be able to sustain, to be able to keep yourself going. You had to protect yourself. So you had to create a shelter within, and to put up a border, and so to create your armor. But it's just the way things work, and armor becomes the prison. And so that is why we're being set free, and it's on all these different levels. But so that is the focus, to me, is the focus of the human beings being set free and all the steps that it takes to get us there, because we're going into a time period of freedom. We're going into an experience of realities where we're free, and you can't just set free a bunch of bumbling psychopaths. They have to heal those sides of themselves. So they have to notice those sides of themselves in order to heal it, because you can't just give all this freedom to people who haven't earned it. And so that is, where you'd have like us earning it, as going through and growing and stuff, is why we don't hurt each other, why we don't need laws and rules and rulers and stuff, is because we figure out how to rule ourselves. We figure out how to connect our purpose. We need to figure out like our respect for other living beings and stuff. That just all happens in this natural way through all of these things that are going on. So as all this stuff that's going on feels outrageous and sad and everything, it's what changes all of human existence. And so it's gonna play out. It has to play out, and it's gonna continue to play out. And I don't know how dark it's gonna get. I don't know when the lights are gonna flip on. And then even after the lights flip on, there's still gonna be a lot of drama because of the pain that people are gonna feel of their own disconnect, of their own souls coming back in. And so it's gonna be dramatic, for a while. It's not like, and I like the way he's bulldozing in, boy. He's like, finally, god damn. Like, I felt like we were in a stagnation for so long, and finally there's movement. There's people going down. There's way more people waking up. There's way more people talking about shit. There's way more of being able to see the influence that they have over us. Even with that, these new news stations that come out, they're supposed to be, so much not biased, and it's like they're still telling people. Because my mom used to listen to all these different things I said. She used to look at all the TikToks and everything, and all of a sudden it's like, no, it's all lies. It's all lies. It's like, okay, that's coming from somewhere. And but there's a huge hold that they're trying to get back on people of the waking, but they can't stop it. This energy is like, it's like you already shook the bottle. You already undone the thing. You can't stop the fizz now. You can't stop what's going down. It's gonna go down. The energy is already going. And so that's why it's like you just gotta ride it, somersault through it, ride that wave, and get through everything that's going through, and just keep remembering the things that come to you, the dramatic things, the horrible things and stuff that come to you. They're coming to you for a purpose. It's not to beat you down or make you feel bad or whatever. It's coming so you can, it's an obstacle for you to, because when you're running that race and you're trying to get through those challenges, make you stronger and better and bigger. And so those things are there for you to have that growth, that it's to help you through this period, not to beat you down. It's to help you release things So all of this, and there's so much releasing. Like, there's so much releasing in the 3D too, like releasing our attachments to things, our people, places, lots of things. So yeah, there's lots of stuff that is you learning how to let go, learning how to, move on, move forward, and let go of things. And that's the part of your expansion. Everybody has these different parts, and there's lots of parts. Like, I don't think everybody's like, oh, she's got one part. No, I think you have a lot, because you have a lot of different lives, a lot of different scenarios playing out, a lot of different people that you're wrapping up karmic influence or karmic debt or karmic entanglements, like you're completing circuits and stuff. So there's a lot going on that people just don't have awareness of. When you have awareness of it, I think it just makes it, easier, makes it better, makes you know what the hell you're doing. There's a lot of people who just don't have any clue what's going on. And then they're so focused on the scary stuff because they think it's scary. Like, so many people are so scared about the things in the sky and stuff. It's like, they've always been there. It's not something you need to be scared of. I've been talking to these beings since I was a little kid. They're not scary. They are intelligent. They're trying to help us. And, there's just there's nothing to fear. Fear is the problem. And that is like, they're trying to help us to be able to break out of the problems, not trying to create more problems. And so all we can do is, just as people who have an understanding of multi-dimensional beings and stuff like that, is to just keep trying to tell people there's nothing to be scared of. Don't be scared of ghosts. Don't, even the monsters and stuff. Well, there's some that can come and eat you, but they can't eat your orb. They can eat you in the game, but they can't consume your orb. But that's the weird thing is here, is how that they are trapping. Like, they're taking the orbs, and then they're putting them in black boxes, and then they're trying to take them out and put them in people or in clones or in synthetics or whatever the fuck these people are doing, these maniacs. But that to me is like, those people are messing with your orb. Like, I know what that maid machine is for. Is that it's a conscience catcher. It's like the orb catcher. And I bet you that there has already been military and stuff going into places and opening black boxes and letting people out. And I don't know how they hold them in, these people that they know some of this stuff. And there's other advanced beings that work with them, because there's other advanced beings that are of negative charge. And then but now we have all the positive coming in. That's like the lights coming on. We have a lot of light coming in, a lot of positive coming in, because the positive will stand back and see the purpose of like you growing and stuff. The negative will try and influence. The positive will stay and observe. And then and the positive is, it's not trying to influence you throughout, but then it's like the lights coming on, and it's like all of this positive light, all this positive influence, and that's the energy. It's probably all these energies and stuff that we're all feeling and stuff is just all this more energy that keeps surrounding us from all of this. It's like the universe. It's like the universe is coming in, and it's like a big hug around Earth or something. But it's going to be become so much more uncomfortable to the dark energy. And the problem is that you've got so many people that are very in their dark energy, very attached to dark energy, and they don't know that. So they have a lot of dark energy influencing them and stuff. And that's why there's going to be a lot of pain as they start to let go of the dark energy, because they don't know. They don't realize that they have these attachments to them, that they've attached to this really toxic, negative stuff. And it's the light coming in is what's going to reveal it. And so the light's going to keep coming in, but that's the beings that so many people fear. Even when people are sitting there saying, oh my God, there's a ghost in my house, it's probably one of your relatives that's trying to communicate with you. It's probably somebody who's trying to help you. It's not somebody who's probably trying to scare you. Even though there was one woman who was talking about, is the one lady who said that she's seen all this really scary stuff. Because there's other beings, but keep in mind too that they can just be trying to scare you to keep you in this negative headspace. And so it's a spiritual battle to your own sense of self. And this woman said that her 3-year-old, I think, keeps saying that there's a monster. He can show you where the monster is. The monster keeps looking at him and stuff. The parents keep saying there's nobody there. He keeps saying, yeah, he is, yeah, he is. But then the mom's coming online and saying, I'm worried, as I don't know what kind of being or creature is there harassing him or whatever, and why it's there and stuff. And you know, I mean, what's really weird when you come down to it is, like, we could be sitting here in our little 3-dimensional world, and that monster over there, but that monster over there can really be where, you know, that kid is from, and he looks like the same kind of monster when he's out of this incarnation and he's in with this other people. Is there can be some, like, monsters around you that maybe are your good friends, and they love you and stuff. You got to feel more into the energy than what something looks like. Just like if somebody, you know, like if your kid's like, oh, there's a monster over there, like, what does he look like? Why do you think it's a monster? What's he feel like? What kind of message is he trying to talk to you? What's he trying to send to you? What's he trying to tell you? Can you hear him? And, you know, ask more questions. And it's more of an energy. It's more of a toxic energy. Ooh, I gotta get going. It's more of a toxic energy. And so that's what, and you need your kids to be able to start reading that too, because this is a spiritual battle for us all. And remember, your kids are grown-ass adults, in little kid bodies, and they are under the influence of being a child. So, but they are actually, you know, a well-scripted, well-deserved adult soul. So, anyways, I better get going. And so Friday, we're going on our big shopping because I get paid. I'm so excited to get paid and get this fucking thing ordered and stuff. I'm just so excited. So, Friday, when I go shopping, I'm going to do these downloads. So those ones will go on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'll just see what goes down. And I'm hoping Sunday or Monday that I get the thing. And then I'll start doing that. Hopefully it's gonna go well. I'm just gonna go positive. It's gonna go good. And so, okay, let's look at my tooth real quick. I haven't even seen it. So that's that. And I will talk to you later. Just remember, while you're doing all of this stuff and what the whole purpose, what the meaning of life is at this current is, learning how to love yourself. I love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. And things are going to get crazier. So, what in the hell was that? That was creepy. Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.